Hey everyone! Welcome to Update X24H, your go-to channel for the latest news, hottest dramas, breaking stories, and all the buzz from the world of entertainment. We're here to keep you updated, entertained, and always in the loop. Hit that subscribe button and join our growing family, because here at Update X24H, we bring you the news that matters, the drama you love, and the stories you can't miss. Thanks for being part of our community. Let's stay connected, stay updated, and keep the good vibes rolling. Narrator: calm yet intense. Paris Fashion Week was supposed to be about haute couture and catwalks, but when Zhao Lusi stepped into the spotlight, the city held its breath. And just a few feet away, Wule smiled. But something in that smile didn't match the cameras. Was it love? Was it regret? Or was he hiding something the world wasn't meant to see? Stay with us. This story might just change the way you see them forever. Paris Fashion Week had seen grandeur before, yet the evening Zhao Lusi emerged from her discreet black sedan felt different, as though the city itself had been waiting for her. Rain from an earlier spring shower clung to the cobblestones outside the Musée des Arts Décoratifs, setting the pavement aglow beneath rows of floodlit arches. When the door opened, a hush rippled through a queue of seasoned photographers who, moments earlier, had been trading banter about hemlines and closing times. Zhao stepped forward wrapped in a slate silk Dior gown whose silhouette echoed the classic Cheongsam, but cascaded into a modern mermaid flair. The fusion was deliberate, a love letter to Shanghai's 1930s elegance and to Parisian haute couture in the same breath. As she paused beneath the portico, every flash stilled, as if shutters forgot to snap in the face of something both familiar and profoundly new. Observers would later say it was not merely the dress that stilled them but the bearing of the woman inside it. Zhao's expression, calm yet alight with curiosity, gave no hint of nerves. Instead, it suggested someone greeting an old friend after a long separation. For Paris, the old friend was the East, an influence the city has courted for centuries, yet rarely had that influence arrived carried by a figure so young, so palpably self-possessed, and so unconcerned with proving herself. Within seconds, phones around the courtyard flooded social platforms across Seoul, Los Angeles, Jakarta, and Madrid. Most captions simply read her name, as though that lone phrase sufficed to explain the electricity in the frame. Inside the venue, Dior's creative director broke protocol to greet her personally, an exchange that did not escape the journalists in the second row. Fashion editors whispered comparisons to Anna May Wong's Paris debut in 1928, another night when East and West had collided under spotlights, but conceded that Zhao's arrival felt less like an exotic cameo and more like a paradigm subtly shifting. On the runway, models glided in sculptural pastels, yet audience eyes kept drifting back to the front row where Zhao sat, posture straight, gown pooling like liquid graphite at her feet. Camera cranes hovered for reaction shots, aware that her nod or fleeting smile would reverberate across millions of screens. Among the spectators was a small delegation of Chinese-French designers who, after the show, spoke of feeling quietly vindicated, as if her presence validated years spent balancing heritage against global tastes. For them, Zhao embodied a confident middle path, reverence without nostalgia, innovation without erasure. Even veteran critic Eleanor Varela, known for her restrained prose, wrote the next morning that Zhao Lusi's entrance signaled a generational tipping point when representation matures into authorship. By dawn, fashion blogs from New York to Melbourne crowned her the evening's unforeseen centerpiece, noting that celebrities with larger Hollywood resumes had walked the same carpet but somehow left a fainter echo. What Paris recognized that night was not simply a rising actress or a photogenic ambassador, but an artist carrying two cultural lineages and refusing to rank one above the other. In a season defined by superlatives, Zhao Lusi offered something rarer: balance, poise, and the suggestion that global stardom could finally move beyond translation toward genuine dialogue. A single second of film can sometimes bear the gravity of an entire novel. The camera, tilted just over the shoulder of a stagehand, caught Wule in profile as Zhao Lusi drifted past the backstage corridor at the Louvre's temporary show space. She had not yet seen him. She was busy adjusting the fall of silk at her waist, her mind clearly fixed on the runway's final applauses. He, however, saw only her, and in that quiet recognition his features relaxed into a smile so brief it might have been mistaken for professionalism. Yet those who know the language of unguarded moments recognize something purer. The smile was not posed. It was released, like breath after a long-held note, before duty gathered itself and rearranged his face into public readiness. That the footage leaked onto social media within minutes speaks less to sabotage than to the modern inevitability of omnipresent lenses. Every corridor is now a stage, every blink potentially viral. Within the hour, timelines from Seoul to Sao Paulo were saturated with freeze frames and slow-motion loops. Comment threads multiplied, parsing micro-expressions the way art historians study brushstrokes. Some viewers swore they saw admiration, as though Wule were silently saluting her triumph, the underdog who had outrun even the loftiest expectations. Others detected a ripple of ache, suggesting the smile belonged to a man glimpsing a what-if future that fame had forced them to postpone. However, a quieter contingent proposed a more grounded interpretation. Mutual pride forged through years of parallel battles with scripts, ratings, and the relentless calculus of stardom. They argued that the smile was less romance and more relief, a private nod between two professionals who understood the weight of each other's journey. Yet speculation thrives where certainty is scarce. Amateur lip readers claimed he mouthed her childhood nickname. Body language analysts charted the angle of his shoulders to compute subconscious leaning. Conspiracy threads resurfaced grainy photographs of matching bracelets, allegedly worn during a promotional tour 2 summers ago. Somewhere amid the noise, a Parisian journalist recalled that they first shared a screen when both were barely 20, 2 students rehearsing in drafty studios after midnight, trading caffeine and notes about dialect coaches. That memory reframed the smile as a time capsule, a bridge from then to now, reminding viewers that their chemistry had been tempered long before magazine covers or luxury contracts. The stars themselves offered no commentary. Zhao Lusi left Paris at dawn for a UNICEF roundtable in Geneva. Wule flew to Lyon for costume fittings on a historical epic. Their silence, intentional or not, became its own narrative device, granting room for millions to project hopes and heartaches into the gap. In an industry addicted to declarations and denials, the absence of either felt radical, an invitation for audiences to wonder rather than consume. Perhaps the smile endures precisely because it resists definition, thriving where imagination, nostalgia, and admiration intertwine. What remains unmistakable is that one candid curve of the mouth momentarily eclipsed gowns, endorsements, even the runway itself. It reminded a world inundated with polished press releases that truth often slips through the small cracks of spectacle. Sometimes it hides in the instant one human recognizes another as they truly are, free of spotlights, if only for a heartbeat. What if the moment that set the internet ablaze, the smile, the glance, the silence, was never about love at all? What if the story we're chasing isn't one of hidden romance, but of something far rarer in the entertainment world? Mutual respect, shared history, and the unspoken bond between two people who have walked parallel paths in the unforgiving world of fame. Zhao Lusi and Wule are not just actors. They are survivors of an industry that often measures worth in fleeting headlines and hollow applause. Behind the glamour, behind the crafted personas and carefully rehearsed interviews, are 2 individuals who began their journeys early, who learned the language of discipline, rejection, and reinvention long before the world called them stars. Their on-screen chemistry is undeniable, but chemistry doesn't always mean romance. Sometimes it's born from trust. From late nights on set, pushing through exhaustion in second takes. From whispered encouragement between scenes. From watching someone else grow, fall, rise again, and knowing your own journey has mirrored theirs. What the camera captured in that fleeting second might not have been longing. It might have been recognition. Wule's smile may have been his way of saying without words, "You made it. We made it." A tribute to resilience, to shared scars, to the quiet dignity of those who never needed to shout to be seen. In a world that constantly demands drama, perhaps this is the deeper truth. Not all powerful connections are romantic. Some are rooted in something even more profound: respect, admiration, and a deep, enduring understanding that comes from having braved the same storm and emerging with grace. According to insiders, Zhao Lusi skipped the after-party. Instead, she was seen dining quietly at a small French bistro, away from the paparazzi with her team. Meanwhile, Wule was spotted boarding a train to Lyon alone. Could this be coincidence? Or were they avoiding being seen together? More curious still, both posted the exact same quote on Weibo that night. Some memories deserve silence. No hashtags, no tags, no names, but fans saw it, and they haven't stopped decoding it since. For many, Zhao Lusi represents more than beauty or fame. She's the girl who came from nowhere, who rose not because of scandal or shock, but consistency, charisma, and character. Her presence in Paris was more than red carpet news. It was proof that talent from Asia belongs on the world stage, not in the shadows. And Wule, whether lover, friend, or silent supporter, he reminded us of something rare. That real stories aren't always loud. Sometimes the most powerful moments are the quiet ones. A glance, a smile, a pause that speaks louder than words. So what was Wule really hiding in that smile? Maybe it was nothing. Or maybe it was everything. If this story moved you, even a little, don't forget to subscribe to Update X24H, where we uncover the unseen side of global stars. Hit the bell so you never miss a heartbeat from the world of Asian icons, global fashion, and stories that stir the soul. Thank you for watching, and remember, sometimes the most beautiful truths are hidden in plain sight.